What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. This is a very unexpected thing I wanted to make, but I really want to talk about this game, honestly, because I haven't made a video once on this particular series, Pac-Man. I guess I haven't mentioned Pac-Man on the channel much. Yeah, I love Pac-Man. I feel like almost any fan of a platformer mascot should love Pac-Man. Pac-Man's that character. I know he's iconic, of course, and the arcade game, of course, but I never really dig that deep into his series, like, as much as I would want to, honestly. Like, I played a few of the arcade-ish ones, pretty much almost all of them. I play him a decent, okay amount in Smash Brothers, and I played a few of the platformers, but one of the Pac-Man titles that sticks out to most people is the platforming games, and that's the Pac-Man World game. These are basically 3D platformers starring Pac-Man. And hey, I love 3D platformers, so I decided to talk about Pac-Man platformers. Yeah, these are the ones I probably have the most like gameplay with, honestly, and especially recently. So I'm going to be talking about the brand new remake of Pac-Man World 2. Before we get that started, though, Pac-Man World 1. So funny thing is, I didn't really grow up with Pac-Man World in any capacity in the slightest. So I have like zero much connection with it. Like, I didn't grow up with any of them, despite me owning a GameCube. Pac-Man World 2 was this 3D platformer. I see, like, man, this game is so nostalgic. I have chills. And then I played the original when I I played the original the moment the remake got announced. It was like a few, like, months, I believe, before the remake got announced. Like, I wanted to play to see what the buzz was all about, and I like it, but it didn't wow me or anything or something. But I don't know what was up with it. Like, I thought it was like okay, I see the appeal, and it's a good 3D platformer, but it wasn't like best platformer ever made material for me. Like, I don't know. I think it's just so, it was like a product at its time is what I call it, honestly. Like, it's an old game, so maybe it's just me, but as someone who gets into older games, I don't know. Pac-Man World 2 was like, I like it, but I don't know if it was like top tier platformer title in my opinion. That's where the remake comes in. So I guess I never talked about Pac-Man World 1. Pac-Man World 1 RePac happened in 2022. Gee, that was quite a bit ago. And I like it, honestly, for what it is. I thought it was this is a pretty cool platformer. I didn't play the original growing up, so I was like, okay, this is a pretty cool platformer. I've seen some interesting opinions on, like, the butt bounce ability that Pac-Man does, where you it's like this ground pound move that he does, and then, any other, like, nitpicks I could bring up, but that was really the only criticism I hear, but other than that, it wasn't really a big deal for me, so, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good platformer. And then we have Pac-Man World 2, which I hear is the best of the trilogy. I haven't played Pac-Man World 3. I know I should go play that eventually if I wasn't busy with other games, you know. But Pac-Man World 2, the original, like I said, it's good, but it didn't wow me. That's where the remake, in my opinion, comes in. Because I just felt like it fixed a lot of issues I had with the game. It made it the better experience by a long shot. Any nitpicks what y'all can bring up is fine. I feel like this is the case with any remake, and to be honest, there's always that thing that people miss about an old game. I feel like anytime a game gets a remake, there's always something they miss, because, well, what do you expect in the modern day, basically? Like, I can't name a single remake that doesn't have this happen. And really, I just think this is the best way to play Pac-Man World 2, in my opinion. Like, I honestly wouldn't go back to the original game, in my opinion. So, I just feel like it was just a much better experience, in my opinion. So that's just how it felt like for me. But I guess I never talked about the game itself. I don't want to go too deep into, like, the end game and stuff, or really the plots. I want to make this a quick little video why I think this game is seriously went from an original game went from okay, it's a pretty good platformer, to one of my favorite 3D platformers ever made now. Now, it may not be a masterpiece. That being said, I honestly do like this game. I do love this game, but of course it's not calling anything I don't use the term masterpiece on literally any game, honestly. I mean, I did said that for maybe Bonanza, but that's like, you know, it's biased. But Pac-Man World 2 RePac honestly was like one of my most charming 3D platformers. Like, the music is amazing. I love the music. And I loved, one of the biggest criticism with the game I had was the boss fights. Most of the bosses were kind of just whatever in my opinion, but here in this version, they fixed them. Make them actually fun to fight, except for like the very last two at the end of the main game. Like, if you know, you know. But yeah, the bosses are brutal, which I guess could be a good thing, because I know some people always argue if a boss fight is always ends in like less than 30 seconds or something like that. But I honestly did like some of the boss fights. But I think this is a case where just because a boss fight lasts more than a minute doesn't mean I think it's good. That's just my personal opinion, which I don't care. I don't really have bosses ranked as like a, you know, as like a telling whether if a game matters or not, because I care more about level design, music than boss fights, really. So yeah, and also Pac-Man. Pac-Man talks, by the way. I know some people might be mixed on this, more so when he gets a fruit every single time, sort of like how he doesn't know Pac-Man games. And yeah, I kind of understand, but like I like Pac-Man talking. Do you want him to be silent for most of the game? I don't know. I've never been a fan of silent protagonists, with the exception of like maybe a few exceptions. Like Mario never talks in like, you know, RPGs with dialogue, but at least that's an exception in my opinion. But I don't know. I never like silent protagonists sometimes, unless it like it's fair. Mario gets the pass, you know, because it's Mario, and even though I love Mario, so yeah. I don't know. I when I say silent protagonists from Mario, I meant the RPGs. I know we make sounds like wahoo and all that, you know. So yeah, don't take me as a Mario hater, by the way. But Pac-Man World 2, I don't mind them talking, honestly, and I think it's just kind of funny. He's just enjoying his fruit, okay? So yeah. Anything else? Now, one of the things I hated with Pac-Man World 2 was the lava and water levels. Those are by far the worst parts of the game. Like, water... Okay, the water worlds are kind of whatever, in my opinion. Like, I definitely do think the controls were an improvement compared to the original game, but it's water levels. It seems like no platformer series can get water levels right. Whenever you get to water levels, you're like, I gotta play a water level. So yeah, I just... But it's not a big deal. And the lava worlds, while challenging, still felt decently, fairly challenging compared to brutally unfair what I had to deal with in the original game. Like, that was just not fun to deal with, so yeah. But, and also, like, the game itself really feels like a Pac-Man game. Like, that's what it feels like. You get all these ghosts, you get the pellets, basically like the original game. You kill off the ghosts, and it's like, it's really fun to do that, honestly. I always loved doing that in the original, like, Pac-Man World 1 remake, so I'm glad they brought it back here, honestly. And, this game also has post-game, which is really cool. Very brutal, I will say, which is expected, but it adds some extra content to the game, honestly, and... yeah, it's fun, but man, be ready for a challenge for that. So yeah, I've glazed a lot about Pac-Man World 2 Remake, and I can say right now that yeah, I honestly really do enjoy this game, and it's probably my second favorite game that came out this year, to be honest. I'm a sucker for platformers. I played a lot of great platformers this year, like Shantae. I'm playing Yuka Replayly right now. SpongeBob's coming out soon, and Bubsy. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a video on Bubsy, huh? But yeah, I just really enjoyed this game, and I highly recommend this if you're a fan of 3D platformers, of course. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but I still love this game, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know a short video, but I wanted to make a video on this game because I love Pac-Man, so yeah. Maybe I'll make videos on on some other Pac-Man games if I feel like it, but I know Pac-Man World 2 is like the highlight, so... yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for more. Later, folks. Show the way to